Let's do it. So Abby, who is not here tonight because she has cramps and wanted to eat brownies on her couch instead, which is a fine decision, It's yoga. We are okay with everybody's decisions all the time. Uh, but she had requested that I put together a few flows that deviate from our normal pattern a little bit more. So we're going to try something a little bit new tonight.
All right.
And we are going to kick it off with a little 5-minute meditation here. So go ahead and find a comfortable seat, whether you're cross-legged or on your knees in a hero's pose. Or if you're sitting cross-legged and want to roll up your mat a little bit to get your hips higher, that can help if you have tight knees. In fact, I'm going to grab an extra mat and my timer and go ahead and do that. And just come to a comfortable seated position and choose a position for your hands, a mudra that you can comfortably hold for the entire time. Whether palms up, palms down, fingers connected. Choose one and stick with it. And we'll go ahead and start our 5-minute meditation. So close your eyes, begin to deepen your breath. Feel the quality of your seat, your mat under you. The pressure against your feet, wherever they may be touching. If you're in a kneeling position, maybe how the mat feels in your shins and knees. How it feels in your sit bones. What it feels like for your weight to be rested there. And then using your breath, get a sense for where your shoulders sit in relation to your hips. As you breathe in, can you reach the crown of your head a little bit higher? And as you exhale, can you let your shoulders relax and your sit bones ground into the ground? Stack your spine so it's straight and you feel almost a second of weightlessness as your shoulders come over your hips where they're supposed to be. And as you tuck your chin softly so that your head rests in the way it's intended to be supported with your anatomy. Take note of your hands. Breathe down into your fingertips. Whatever part of your hand is resting on your knees or lap, feel that connection and breathe into that connection. As you breathe and sit here with your eyes softly closed, take note of your thoughts, what's going on in your head. Are thoughts rising up quickly? Are you relatively relaxed? Are you struggling to keep your eyes closed? Have you dropped right into this like you've been wanting to meditate all day? Just take note of whatever you observe there and set it aside. As you continue to breathe here and observe and practice stillness, notice as you discover little things that you can let go of, whether it's thoughts rising to the surface that you can set aside and say, yeah, maybe later, or parts of your body that you might not need to have engaged here to stay in your seat. Maybe you can find one more thing to let go. With each inhale, feel yourself growing light like air, filling up with this wonderful resource and all of its elemental qualities. As you exhale, feel your connection to the earth, the connection of your hands to whatever they're resting on, connection of your sit bones and feet to the ground, and absorb the stability and the grounding that that has to offer. Softly open your eyes and moving deliberately with care, come on into a child's pose with your toes together and knees wide at the back of your mat. As you stretch your hands long in front of you and bring your forehead down to rest on your mat, keep your eyes open so you have that soft, blurry focus on your mat right there. And send your breath into your joints. Feel the softness there that you've created just from sitting and doing nothing for 5 minutes. And I offer to you a chance to cultivate that space and softness and lightness as we go through our flow today. Spread your fingers and toes wide and press the tops of your feet into your mat. Spiral your inner thighs out and up toward the ceiling and press the base knuckles and your fingertips into the mat. And then your next inhale, curl your toes, press your hips high, and come on up to a downward facing dog. Take a look at your feet and make sure that they're as wide or even a little bit wider than your hips. And pedal your feet out left and right. Take any other movements you need to transition from these sitting and laying postures of rest and rejuvenation to this bit more active inversion of down dog. Press your fingertips into the ground and send your heart down through your shoulders. Feel how the lift up from your fingertips and the descent of your heart fires up your entire upper back and gives you the space to suck your abs in, raise your tailbone up, and open up the whole backs of your legs so your heels can descend toward the ground. Inhale, look forward between your hands. Rise up on your tippy toes, and at the bottom of your exhale, walk all the way to the top of your mat and hang in a ragdoll pose. Grab your opposite elbows with the other hand. Sway gently front to back and side to side with your breath, cultivating that lightness of air and that softness of water in your joints. Release your hands, heel toe your feet together, and inhale, roll all the way up to standing, bringing your arms overhead. And grounding down through your heels, exhale your hands to heart center. And even though we're doing a bit of a different pattern today, we're still going to open with our Om. So clearing breath first, inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And now let's Om. Inhale, reach up, look up. And exhale, forward fold, abs in. Inhale to halfway lift. Shoulder blades come down your back. And exhale, step back to high plank. Inhale, press the heels of your hands toward your toes. And exhale, rock forward over your fingertips and lower halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press down through your fingertips here. And exhale, downward facing dog. We're only going to do 2 sun A's to warm up today. So let's make them good. Let's shake the dust out of our bones. Inhale, look forward between your hands. And exhale, step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise from the ground up, lifting through your fingertips. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step back, high to low plank, dragging the heels of your hands back as you do so. Inhale, upward facing dog, press through your fingertips. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale to step or jump to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, look up. And exhale, forward fold, come all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, high plank to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, down dog. And now we'll do only 2 sun B's as well, just to get ourselves warmed up. Sun B's help us get our hips open and our big muscles on our legs engaged. So we're not going to skip them, but we'll reduce them for this one. Inhale, look forward. And exhale to step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway left. And exhale, fold. Hips low, hands high, come up onto your chair pose. And exhale, forward fold, head comes down. Inhale to halfway lift. And exhale, step or jump back, high to low plank, hugging in. Inhale to upward facing dog, expand your collarbones out. And exhale, down dog. Right foot steps forward, left heel spins down. Inhale up to warrior 1. And exhale, chaturanga, high to low. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward, inhale up to warrior 1. And exhale, hands to the mat, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, down dog. Inhale your right heel high. Bend your knee and stack and open up your hips. Bring the pit of your belly in and up and press through your right hand to turn your armpit back toward the ground. Inhale, raise your knee up. And exhale, bring your knee to your nose, putting a weight into your fingertips as you do so. Inhale your heel back up. Exhale, bring your knee to your right armpit, weight in your fingertips. Inhale, heel back up. Exhale, bring your knee to your left armpit, and then kick it through and raise your left hand up for wild thing. Squeeze your heels together on the mat and squeeze your right hand toward your left heel so you can lift up out of your shoulder and also engage your oblique. One more big inhale, lift up. And exhale, release, come back to your 3-legged dog. Big inhale, kick your heel up. And exhale, step it heel first next to your right hand. And inhale your right hand up for easy twist. Look up at your right thumbnail and bend your left knee to hover 3 inches above the ground. Bring the front of your pelvis in and up and drop your tailbone towards your right heel. And now straighten your left leg. Feel the depth in your twist and how it's coming from lower on your body, how you're getting more of a stretch both in your right butt and your left hip flexor. Big inhale, expand to the chest. And now press down through the fingertips on your left hand and drag that heel toward your left foot as you come onto the outside of your foot and stack your right foot on top of your left for a side plank. Continue to squeeze your left hand and foot together to activate those obliques. Inhale, look up, lift up, and exhale, chaturanga, flow high to low. Inhale to upward facing dog, and exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale your left heel high. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose, clawing down through those fingertips like a kitty cat. Inhale your left heel high. Exhale, bring your left knee to your left tricep. Inhale, kick high. Exhale, bring your left knee to your right tricep, squeezing in, and then kick it through, raising your right hand up for a wild thing. Squeeze your heels together and squeeze that left hand towards your right heel. Activate your obliques and lift up. One more big breath into your chest here, and then exhale, come back to three-legged dog, raising your left heel high. Big inhale here, and then exhale, step it next to your left hand, heel first, landing softly, and inhale, open up to easy twist. Bend your right knee so it hovers 3 inches above the ground. Scoop the front of your pelvis up, and exhale your tailbone towards your left heel, and then straighten that leg back out. Bending our limbs is always an access to going deeper and finding new stretches in a pose. So don't be afraid to try that out and bend your limbs in more of these poses. One more big inhale through your chest. And now claw down through your right fingertips and drag the heel of your right hand towards your right foot as you stack this left foot on top. Continue to squeeze your right foot and hand together, activate those obliques, lift your hips higher. Inhale, expand up and lift, and exhale, chaturanga, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale to downward facing dog. Woo, we can do a clearing breath for this. We'll do 2 clearing breaths. Inhale through your nose, and exhale through your mouth. Make a sound. 1 more of those. Inhale through your nose, and exhale through your mouth. Inhale your right heel high. Exhale, step it down by your right hand. And inhale on up to a crescent lunge. Bend your back knee slightly and pull your right hip back and your left forward, and then straighten that leg back out. And you're in a deeper crescent lunge here. Inhale your chest up, and exhale, open up to warrior 2. Squeeze your heels together on the mat so you can use your glutes to open your hips up. Flip your right palm, inhale, go up and back. And exhale, cartwheel down to frame your right foot, coming into a low lunge. Walk your hands around to your left leg and sit down on your left foot, pushing out through both of your feet, and do a side squat. This has a fancy name in Sanskrit and I never remember it. So we're gonna call it a side squat. Tighten your fingertips on the ground and walk them over to the top of your mat once more. And wiggle your right foot out to the side of your mat for a lizard lunge. So you can put your hands down here with your thumbs together, or if you're feeling it, come all the way down onto your forearms. Regardless of where you are, scoop the front of your pelvis up and send your tailbone back toward your heels. Squeeze the ball of your left foot and your entire right foot toward each other on the mat to help that hip integration. Now come back up on your hands if you were on your elbows and settle back into a long pyramid pose. Your left heel is probably not on the ground here. Squeeze your belly in and up and squeeze your inner thighs together to integrate those hip bones here. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, let your head come down whatever amount it will. And then shift your weight forward again and wiggle your foot to the center. So now we're in a low lunge. Bend that back knee slightly and bring your low belly in to get your hips. Then squeezing your inner thighs together, inhale up to a crescent lunge. Bring your hands to heart center and twist over to the right. Squeeze your inner thighs together so that you can use the pressure of your elbow on your knee to twist deeper. Release and come to center, inhale up. And exhale, bring your left arm under and your left leg up and over, oops, and transition into an eagle pose. However many steps it takes for you to get there. Always pretty variable for me. Once you're in eagle, feel your shoulder blades wrapping around in front of you. And from that wrapping and opening on your back, you can lift your elbows a little bit higher in line with your shoulder blades. Keeping a bind, stand up and bring your left leg up into your chest. Then exhale, hinge back into airplane pose. Keep your eagle bind arms as long as you can. So you then start to hinge down into standing splits, pressing out through your heart and the top of your head and the heel on your back leg to keep your balance here. And then when you finally get all the way down, release your hands to either side of your foot. Options here to play with your balance, capturing your right ankle with both hands, or I invite you to do this even if you're not feeling totally up to it. Practice some handstand hops. So, claw your fingers into the ground, straighten your arms, keep your arms totally straight, that's key here. And then hop up off the ground a little bit. Even if you're only doing this and you're only getting up or you're only thinking about lifting up, it's still gonna strengthen your abs. And you'll start on your way to getting up and do a full-on handstand. Take a few more, or if you're holding your standing split, hold it for just a few breaths longer here. And then bring your left foot down and exhale. Take a Padahastasana, bring your peace sign fingers to your big toes. Inhale to halfway lift, and exhale fold, bringing the crown of your head down. Press down and out through your feet so you can roll your inner thighs back and give your tailbone more room to reach up to the ceiling as your hip bones spread apart and your head drops lower. Release your feet, heel toe your feet together. Inhale to halfway lift, and exhale, chaturanga, flow through high to low. Inhale to upward facing dog, pressing through those fingertips, and exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. Now I'll see if I can remember how to do that on the other side. All right, inhale your left heel high. Exhale, step it by your left hand, heel first, landing softly. Bend your right knee down slightly and ground through the four corners of your left foot as you squeeze your inner thighs together. And then straighten it back out. From that strong foundation, inhale on up into crescent lunge. Exhale, open on up into warrior two. Flip your left palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, cartwheel down to either side of your left foot. And walk your fingertips over to your right foot for a side squat on this side. Squeeze your heels together on the mat, even as you think about extending out through both of your knees. So our push-pull in yoga, making ourselves long and short all at the same time. And use your breath to stay. Bring your fingertips to tent on the ground and start to walk them over to the front of your mat again, coming into a low lunge. And then wiggle your left foot out to the side and come into a lizard lunge. So pull your left foot and the ball of your right foot together on your mat and squeeze your inner thighs together for stability. As you stand your hands or come on down to your forearms if that's available for you. Or some sort of, weird hybrid with your little cramped reptilian arms. Come back up onto your hands and position your weight back into a long pyramid, straightening out your left leg. Squeeze your inner thighs together here and pull your left hip back as you press through your big toe ball mound. Once again, your right heel is probably not going to be on the ground. Inhale to halfway lift and exhale to let your head come down and find some release in the top of your spine here. Release your pyramid, come back into your low lunge, and wiggle your left foot in slightly, hug your inner thighs together, and come back up into your crescent lunge. Bend your right knee and get that pelvis dropping down low, and then straighten her back out before you bring your hands to heart center and twist over to the left. Ground down through the four corners of your left foot as you pull your right hip forward by pressing down to the ball of that foot. So you can take the action of your knee to elbow and elbow to knee and use as the fulcrum for your twist. Release and come up to center. Then cross your right arm under your left and pick your right leg up over your left and come into eagle. Sometimes I can launch directly from crescent into eagle. And not, apparently after the run I went on right before this, the legs are like, Anna, no, not today. So we'll work with what we have. Take, 3 steps to get here. From your eagle, unwind, bring your right knee up into your chest, and exhale, hinge back into airplane pose. Stretching your fingertips forward toward the wall in front of you, and stretching your right heel back toward the wall behind you. And then start to hinge forward, stretching out, bringing those bound arms down, keeping the bind for as long as you can as you come into standing splits. And then release at the bottom. And once again, our options here are to grab our ankle to play with balance, try to get those eagle arm binds in again, or once again, invitation to take some handstand hops on this side. Keep those arms straight, claw your fingertips down and look farther forward than you think you need to. You know what that sounds like? That sounds a lot like crow. It's almost like all these poses are basically the same thing. And again, even if you're just thinking about hopping, raising that leg out, taking a little tiny hop, all that is huge, huge progress. And I'm very proud of both of you. Take a few more hops. You're in standing splits, stay in standing splits. Burn it out for a few seconds longer here. And then bring your right foot down, forward fold. Split your feet apart. Slide your hands underneath your feet for gorilla pose. Tickle your wrists and let your head hang heavy. Release your feet up under your hands. Heel toe your feet together. Inhale to halfway left, extending your spine long. And exhale, flow through your chaturanga, high to low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale, hips high, down dog. Inhale your right heel high. Exhale, step through softly, heel first. And inhale up to crescent lunge. Exhale and open up to warrior two, pressing through that knife blade edge of your back foot. Flip your hand and inhale, go up and back. And exhale, come down to your extended side angle. Squeeze your shoulder blade tips together on your back as you squeeze your heels together on your mat. And now bring your right hand to the outside of your right foot and straighten your leg to come into triangle pose. Kind of a new fun way to do that, right? Inhale your chest forward and exhale to bring your front ribs together and slide your shoulder blades down your back. Press through your right big toe bone to send the outside of your right high hip back and press through the edge of your left foot so you can bring your left hip forward and down. Getting that twist all along the upper side of our body as we turn to look at this way. Press down firmly through both feet and holding your abs in strong. Come on up to standing. Turn your toes in to face the left side of your mat. Inhale your arms overhead, and exhale, bring them to your hips and fold with a flat back into your prasarita. Take a generous bend to your knees and press down through all four corners of your feet, bringing your head down before you straighten your legs and bring your hips back up. Walk your fingertips around to the front of your mat and point your right foot forward and step your left in for pyramid pose. Press down through your heels and squeeze your inner thighs together as you halfway lift. And exhale, fold over your right leg, letting your head hang completely heavy here. And go ahead and pop your hips over to the left. It's really easy for them to sneak on over to the side of your front foot. And see if that motion gives you a little bit more opening in your upper hamstring. All right, now bring your hands to your hips and inhale, come on up halfway. Exhale, hold. On your next inhale, stand all the way up with your pyramid legs. Now inhale your hands overhead and exhale, open on up to the right. Stretch out through your fingertips to either wall. You got an open face twist. And then start to bend over and come into twisting triangle. And bump your hips over to the left again. So another way to get into this pose. Sometimes it's easier if you've been struggling to get into twisting triangle from the usual way, to just try a little different perspective like this. One more big inhale to open up, and exhale, bring your hands to the mat. Flow through your vinyasa or just come to down dog. And we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Inhale your left heel high. Exhale, bring it forward to step softly, heel first next to your left hand. And inhale on up to our crescent lunge. Bend your right knee, pick the front of your pelvis up, and drop lower into your lunge to get that stretch. Inhale up, and exhale, open up to warrior two. Squeeze your heels together on the mat to turn on your glutes, to turn on your inner thighs. Then flip your left hand and inhale, go up and back as you continue to sink into your front foot. And exhale, come forward into extended side angle. Inhale the front of your pelvis up, and exhale, descend your tailbone towards your right heel. Bring your left hand to the outside of your left foot and straighten your left leg to press back into your triangle pose. I really like this way of coming into triangle. I am going to do this more often. So I hope you guys liked it too. Anyways, press down through the big toe ball mound on your left foot to bring the outside of your left hip back and squeeze your inner thighs together to give yourself the support you need to twist open and look up at the ceiling. and fold over your left foot. Step your right in for pyramid and press down through your heels and squeeze your inner thighs together as you halfway lift, and exhale, fold over your left leg. Bring your hands to your hips and inhale halfway up. Exhale to hold and send your tailbone back behind you. Then inhale, stand all the way up and sweep your arms overhead. Bring your left hip back and your right hip forward as you open up to the left side of the room. Extend out through your fingertips, expanding out, and then start to bend over, bringing your right fingertips down as you turn to look up at the ceiling at your left hand, or I guess you're staying in your turn. And pop your booty out and a little bit to the right in this twisting triangle. One more big inhale, reach up, lift up, and exhale, hands to the mat, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog, and exhale, hips high, down dog. Now inhale, come forward to a high plank, and lower down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to your belly. Turn either ear to the ground and take a belly shavasana. Keep your eyes open and find something on which to focus your gaze. And return to your breath, matching those inhales with your exhales. And sending it all through your body. And noticing how your body feels in its connection to the ground. And notice the quality of the air touching your body and the dichotomy between those two things. Coming back to our meditation a little bit here. Flip and rest the other ear on the ground. Find another spot to look at on the other side of you. Now bring your chin to center and turn your hands over to face the ground. Press through the tops of your feet and firm up your quads. Bring those front ribs together and then lifting up through the crown of your head, inhale up into locust pose. Reaching back for your toes behind you. You can keep your toes pointed today, but still spread them out. Fire up all those little muscles. Should probably not call this locust, this is more of a swan dive, but do the swan dive. And exhale, release, spin the other ear down to the mat. Bring your chin back to center and set up for second locust. Inhale on up into our second swan dive here. Bring your shoulder blade tips together on your back to peel your chest up one rib more off the mat. And then exhale, release, other ear down. Bring your chin to center. Kick your legs up, capture them from the outside with your hands, and kick on up into floor bow. Squeeze your knees together even as you kick back into your hands to keep your legs aligned with your hips. Bring your gaze up the wall higher in front of you and hold. And exhale, release. Windshield wiper your legs back and forth to bring a release into your low back. And then flip on over into a bridge pose or set up for bridge pose. Bring your heels up just so your fingertips can almost reach them. And then press down firmly through all four corners of your feet and flatten your low back against your mat. Squeeze your front ribs toward the front of your pelvis without even lifting up yet, and turn your palms to face up on your mat. And now from all this wonderful contact, inhale on up, using your abs, using your hamstrings to lift you up toward the ceiling. Squeeze your knees together like there's a beach ball in between them and lift up a little bit higher. And exhale, release, come down. Now set up for either bridge or a wheel, your choice. Bring your hands by your ears and inhale, press on up. If you're in wheel, claw down through those fingertips, just like we do in all of our poses where our hands are on the ground. And from that, you can reach your chest, your heart down through your shoulders. And exhale, release. We've got 3 more of those to do. Bridge or wheel, your choice. I strongly encourage you to try wheel, even if it looks like bridge with your hands on the ground or just coming up to the top of your head. Try something new, expand out. With an inhale, come on up. And exhale, release, come all the way down. Only 2 more, guys. Let's go for them. Take a big inhale and a big exhale. And then inhale, come up into wheel. And exhale, release, come down. 1 more to go. Set up, get stoked. Big inhale, big exhale, flatten your low back out against the ground. And now inhale, come on up. And release, come all the way down. Take a Supta Baddha Konasana with your soles of your feet together, knees wide. Make sure you're getting your back flat on the ground in this pose, taking whatever adjustments you need to make that happen in your own anatomy. And place one hand on your heart, the other on your low stomach. Release your feet up and take a happy baby. Ooh-wee, my hamstrings are sore. Wow. Every once in a while, man. You can rock back and forth, kicking one foot out and the other. Whatever you need to do in this pose, make your happy baby your own. And then extend your feet on up to the ceiling. Keep that low back flattened on the ground by extending out through your tailbone and bringing the front of your pelvis up. And continue to stretch out through the crown of your head. Spine is so long, that's how you keep your abs in here. And then bring your right heel to hover 2 inches above the ground. Take an inhale here, exhale to hold, and then switch. Inhale to expand, exhale to hold, and then switch. Breathe, breathe, and switch. Inhale, exhale, and switch. Inhale, exhale, and now switch more quickly, eliminating that breath in between. A little more difficult for those abs. Hope you're feeling them from yesterday. A little bit more for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And bring your knees into your chest. Nice work. And let's rock and roll. Massage that spine. Now meet you all up at the front, or I guess back of your mat in a half pigeon. Taking care once again to bring that right hip back and press to the top of your left heel before folding over your front leg. Actually, in half pigeon, you can squeeze your inner thighs together too to get more of an opening in your gluteus medius and the whole outside of that right leg, which is the, principal goal, I suppose. And slowly press up. Switch sides, bringing your left leg around, extending your right leg long behind you. Bump your left hip back and press into the top of your right foot to square your hips, and then fold over. Coming on down and relaxing your heart toward the earth. And softly press up to a seat. Extend both legs long in front of you. Let's do a seated forward fold. Inhale your hands high and exhale, fold over your legs. Tuck your chin to extend the crown of your head long and let it hang heavy. And inhale, come all the way up and set up for a full pigeon. So let's bring your left shin parallel to the edge of your mat. Move your butt cheeks out of the way before you stack your legs. I find that to be a little easier. And then stack your right leg on top of your left and press out through both of your heels as you tighten your fingertips so you can lift your chest high. Then you can either stay here or begin to fold over your right leg. Breathing into the intensity on the outside of your hips. And keep your feet active, keep those toes spread and press out through your heels. That'll help protect your knees and actually make this entire pose a little bit less challenging. On an inhale, carefully rise all the way up and switch sides, bringing your right shin parallel to the edge of your mat. Bring your left around to stack on top and move your butt out the way again. Those pesky cheeks have a way of creeping in. Then tent your fingertips and inhale your chest high. Neither stay here or begin to fold over your legs. And inhale, carefully sit all the way up. And extend your legs long in front of you. Give them a little tap on the ground. Release all of that workout. Then come to your back and take an inversion of your choice. Shoulder stand, legs up the wall. If you're feeling really frisky, you can do headstands or handstands. You know, what calls to you. If you're doing a shoulder stand, be sure to support your low back with your hands and keep your chin centered to protect your neck. And if you're in a shoulder stand, lower your legs down into a plow pose behind you, pressing to the ground if and when your toes hit. And bend your knees and bring them by your ears for a deaf man's pose. And with control, roll all the way down onto your back. Well, we have one more second. Let's take a quick supine twist. So bring your right knee in and up. And exhale, bring it on over to the left, turning to look over your right shoulder. And release, come to center. Take the twist on your left, bringing your left leg in, and then exhaling it on over to your right side and turning to look over your left shoulder. And release, come to center. Give yourself one last final big old squeeze, hug everything in, and then exhale, release into your Shavasana. Let everything go and take your deep rest. Start to take small movements and bring some awareness back to your body. Circle out your wrists and ankles, wiggle those fingers and toes. Then plant your feet underneath you and use them to shift your hips on over to either the right or the left side and cradle your head and your bottom arm for just a second here, keeping your eyes closed. And softly press up to a seat, eyes still closed. And now we're back in our meditation posture from the beginning of class. So take whichever mudra you chose, whatever kind of seat you chose. And raise the crown of your head tall. Take a big inhale, filling your entire rib cage. And a big exhale, letting everything go. Now bring your hands to heart center. And inhale, raise them up to your third eye center. The light in me acknowledges and bows to the light in each one of you. Namaste. Woo.
Well, that was different.